Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel for another video this week. I'm Wahi and I feel like I really need to start this video off with a brief check-in or update. So I'm sorry I haven't posted a video in a minute, but I just got finished with finals for school. So I've been kind of offline from making videos so that I could focus on my schoolwork and, getting my grades where they need to be. But also my hair is different. So I cut my hair, obviously, and I'm trying to return back to my natural color, which is like an auburn-ish color, so like brown mixed with red. So I feel like those are the two most major updates. But now that I'm on summer break, I can definitely create more videos and put out more content, which I'm super excited about. So as you can tell by the title of this video, I'm actually going to be reviewing an amazing new piece to my collection. So I just recently got the Ctrl album by SZA on vinyl. So I thought that I would do a video kind of talking about what I think about this vinyl, giving it like a little review, I guess you could say, and then also just talking about the album and, my favorite parts about the album, what I think about the album, some important themes that make a lot of sense to me or that I think, were really great throughout the album. So that's what we're going to be doing for today's video, is looking all at this album, and I'm hoping to feature a couple more shots of, me playing and showing the album and the vinyl, rather than just, me standing in front of you and showing it. First, I thought that I would get into talking about the visuals and basically like my overall, opinions about the aesthetic of this packaging for the album. Also just a little bit of background about, my relationship with SZA, as if we have a relationship. I wish. Hit me up, SZA. I think you're absolutely stunning. No, but as in like, how I got into SZA, how long I've been listening to her. I would say I got into her before Ctrl dropped, with her first album, or first EP. I don't really think it was an album, but the song Child's Play with her and Chance the Rapper, I was a huge fan of, but I didn't really get too far into her music. I don't know why. I think I was probably too busy obsessing over Frank or something like that. But once Ctrl dropped, I wasn't even into it when it first dropped. I had heard it from some of my friends and the people that I was around. But honestly, what like really tipped it over is that I had a class this semester where we were actually going to be reviewing the Ctrl album. And I was like, you know what? I've been super delaying getting into this album or giving it like a real chance. So I ended up, even before we started reviewing it or like talking about it in my class, I ended up getting super into Ctrl around the like beginning of this semester. So around like January, February. I'm not the biggest fan, as in like I'm a huge like Frank Ocean fan in that sense, but I definitely really appreciate a lot of the work that she puts out, and especially in this album. Just to get into the album or vinyl review now. So we have the, classic album cover that, was put out on all platforms. And I really, really like this album cover. I think just like the really old tech, like computers and tech behind her, and like it being in the grass, like I feel like there's such a disparity between the like natural nature scene. She surrounds herself with all these fucked up computers. I think that's like, that disparity is like really obvious, and it really like draws me in. And obviously like her like outfit just being kind of like in a chillax, like just wearing a jacket and some shorts. I think really speaks to a lot of the themes in this album of her, like being young and like wanting to really enjoy her time in her youth. But also like she talks a lot in the album about like her body and like her body image and having like a more positive but like complicated relationship with her body, which I know is like something that she struggled with in the past, or that, you know, she talks about is how there's kind of like this pressure as a feminine person to be presenting in like a sensual way, or to, you know, have the perfect type of body to put on display. But she hasn't always dressed the way that she does now, as before she used to wear a lot of like baggy clothing and stuff like that. So I think that even her outfit choice kind of speaks to some of the themes on the album. But yes, and then on the back, the computers just kind of continue, and we just have the track list. And then you open up the album, and I have a better shots of this, but we have SZA once again in the same like bodysuit, kind of like sprawled out in a sense in front of the computers. And we have like this blue like design that's overlaid to the original image. So yeah, I really like this album art. I would definitely, you know, give it, I don't know what to rate it. Like, I'm not going to put it on a fucking number scale, but I really, really like it. I think it's and like, I feel like it's something that like, it sticks in my mind. Like, I think about this album cover art a lot, and it's something that like stays with me. Whereas some album cover art is just like, whatever, you know? Now I'm going to get into the original vinyl itself, which again, I will have more shots of this so that you can get a better view. But yeah, I was super shocked when I first opened this, because I actually had no idea that it was gonna be green. But I've actually been chasing this vinyl for a while. I've been going to my record store and asking them constantly, like, is this in stock? Is this in stock? And it never was. So I ended up finally getting it online, even though I really wanted to get it in person. I'm not too impressed with the sleeves, because they're just paper, and I really don't like these sleeves, because I feel like they're difficult to get back into the jacket. It's just kind of boring. Like, I feel like there's some artists that take the time to actually, you know, like decorate the sleeve. So that was the second part of the vinyl. And then it also comes with this really cute little book insert that features all of the credits for each song. And then it also features some different photos and art, which it looks like is kind of styled as if like a as if like children drew it, which I think is actually really cute and gives it a lot more personality. I also was reading some of the stuff on here, and it looks like it has some notes from SZA herself about, you know, just like random doodles and things that she wrote down. So maybe it was something that she drew herself. I think this is one of my favorite parts of this vinyl, is getting this little book to look in. And it also comes with a download code so that you can download the digital album. Overall, I'm really happy with my purchase, and like I said, I've been really meaning to get my hands on this, so I'm really glad that I finally have it and can add it to my collection. I'm really happy to have finally gotten my hands on it, because like I said, I've been trying for a while now, because it is an album that I think is absolutely great and marks a period in my life, which is something that I feel like my relationship with music is. I can define different periods of my life through albums, and I would definitely put Ctrl on, you know, marking this part of my 20s. But now I thought I would get into talking about the album itself and giving my kind of input on what I thought about the album. Favorites on the album that I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talk about is Wavy. I don't know what it is about that track, but it just really gets me in a certain mood. Like, it's just such one of those songs that it has a really positive and fluid, relaxing type of vibe when you listen to it. And I honestly wish that it was longer because it's a pretty short song. And I feel like there's so much there that could go on. And even just like looping it would maybe satisfy me just a little bit more. But I really like that song. Of course, some of my big hitter songs from the album is Broken Clocks and Supermodel. I think Broken Clocks gives a really good insight into what SZA's feelings and emotions are about her past and her childhood and the way that she grew up. I think the music video speaks a lot to also the theme of Broken Clocks, but I think, like I said about other themes of this album, is I noticed like her youthfulness and wanting to appreciate that while also recognizing that some of her youth, some of her childhood wasn't actually something that she got to enjoy because she was busy trying to mature and make sure that she could provide for herself by working a lot. So I think that is a really powerful theme, and kind of speaks to the overall theme of control, of having to make sure that your life is secure, making sure that you have money and food on the table, while also recognizing that you have this desire to experience your childhood, but of course that comes at the cost of not being able to provide for herself. Talks about control throughout the album, of course, with the features from her family, such as her mom and her grandma, giving their input on what control means to them. You can see some other themes that are really important, of course, such as like love and sexuality and her relationship with men, and also, you know, like being a Black woman and what it means, you know, for her to express her sexuality, to express herself as, you know, a young woman who, you know, needs to maintain like a certain reputation or appearances. Talks about with Normal Girl. So there's obviously themes that I can't speak to in terms of like Blackness and what it means for her to express like how race affects her in her life, but it's definitely something not to ignore and not to acknowledge, because that's something that has, you know, been a constant theme in her work and in her life as she, you know, talks in interviews about what it means to be, you know, this role model or to be, you know, somebody in the light for other Black girls and other Black women, and, you know, how to represent that in her music and in her art. So that's definitely a super important theme that you can definitely see in Control. But yeah, overall, like, super great album. I have to say though, one of my least favorite things on this album, probably my only least favorite thing on this album, is Travis Scott's verse on Love Galore. Like, I don't know. I know a lot of people make fun of it because I just can't take it seriously. Like, I don't know, just a lot of the lines in it, and not that it ruined the song, like, I'll still jam to it, but I don't know, like, I just don't know why he said what he said in that song. But that's basically all I have for today to talk about Control. Hope that you appreciated you know, my discussion and showing you the vinyl. Leave a comment down below on what you think about Control and what your favorite song is, if you have one, or what you think about Travis Scott's verse. Also, I'm going to be kind of like changing up the scenery because I have another room that I'm putting together to kind of be like a music room. And if you would like to see like me setting that up, you can definitely follow me on Instagram at @onyichiwahi, and you will see some of my, you know, adventures of putting together this room, because I'd really like for it to be, like a music room while also like a game room for my PC and stuff like that. Thank you so much for watching though. Like I said, leave a comment down below, like this video because it's super helpful. And I will catch you in next week's video. So, Pahi Kotan Heave.